You're standing in the shower, and out of nowhere, a song starts playing, not on a speaker, inside your head. You didn't choose it. You might not even like it, and now it's on a loop, the same 4 seconds, over and over and over. Here's the weird part. It's almost never the whole song. It's a fragment, a hook, a sliver of the chorus. 7 seconds that simply won't quit. So what is actually happening in there? Why does your brain grab one tiny piece of music and put it on repeat, completely against your will? Scientists have a delightfully nerdy name for this. They call it involuntary musical imagery. Most people just call it an earworm. And no, nothing is crawling in your ear. The word is borrowed from the German earworm. It just means a tune that burrows in and won't leave. Almost everyone gets them. Surveys suggest around 90% of people get an earworm at least once a week. So you are extremely normal, annoyingly so. For a long time, nobody studied this seriously. It felt too trivial. Then a researcher named Victoria Williamson decided to dig in. Around 2012, she collected thousands of real earworm reports from ordinary people, and she asked a simple question. What sets one off? The answers fell into neat groups. Sometimes it was recent exposure. You just heard the song. Obvious. But sometimes it was a memory trigger. A word, a place, a person whose name happened to match a lyric. And sometimes it struck when the mind was wandering, when you were bored or doing something almost automatic. Your brain, left idle, reaches for a tune. Then, a psychologist named Ira Hyman ran experiments to push it further. Around 2013, he gave people catchy songs, then handed them puzzles of different difficulty, and he found something clever. The earworms came back the most when the mental task was too easy or too hard. In the sweet spot of focus, the song faded away. Too little to think about, or far too much, and the music crept back in. An earworm, it turns out, loves an underused mind. But which songs? Why that one and not another? That's where a scientist at Durham University named Kelly Jakubowski comes in. In 2016, she and her team studied thousands of named earworm songs and compared them to songs that never seem to stick. Songs equally popular, equally recent on the charts. They were hunting for the secret ingredient, and they found a pattern. Earworm songs tended to be faster, a bright, up-tempo pace. They had a common, easy, melodic shape, the kind of up-and-down contour you find in nursery rhymes, easy for your brain to sing. But then, a twist. Somewhere in the melody, an unexpected leap, a little jump that lands where you don't expect it. Familiar enough to sing, strange enough to remember. That combination is musical flypaper. Think of the opening of a song you can't shake, simple enough to hum on the very first try, but with one odd jump that makes it distinct. That's not an accident. Songwriters have chased that formula for a century, mostly by pure instinct. Jakubowski's work just put numbers on the magic. The team even ranked the stickiest songs. Sitting near the very top, Bad Romance by Lady Gaga. The lead author pointed to its opening riff and to Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple as textbook earworms. Fast, simple to hum, with one strange, memorable turn. And here's a detail that feels almost unfair. You don't have to like a song for it to colonize your head. In fact, some of the worst offenders are songs people actively can't stand. Your brain isn't grading the music. It's just latching on to a pattern. Catchiness and quality are two completely different things, which is why a throwaway advertising jingle, written to be forgotten by lunchtime, can outlast entire symphonies in your memory. So here's the picture so far. Your brain adores patterns, and a catchy melody is a pattern that feels almost complete. Now remember what an unfinished pattern does to a brain. It leaves a loop open. The tune plays, reaches the end of the fragment, and loops right back to fill the gap. Your mind is trying to finish a song that never quite resolves, which is why the classic trick actually works. To kill an earworm, some researchers suggest listening to the whole song, all the way through. To the very last note, you close the loop, and the tune, finally complete, finally lets go. Chewing gum helps too. Oddly enough, it occupies the same mental machinery you'd use to sing silently. But here's what we still haven't answered. Why music? Your brain doesn't loop random smells. It doesn't replay the texture of a doorknob. It loops sound. And more specifically, it loops melody. There's something about music that plugs straight into memory in a way almost nothing else does. People who forget their own children's names can still sing every word of a song from their youth. And that is a far deeper mystery than a catchy chorus. Why music carves itself so permanently into the human brain is only half the story. But a hook this perfect, there's really only one song that can explain it. And I think you already know the one. Thanks for watching Brainstorm Bob. If this made you think, hit subscribe for more curiosity, ideas, and real answers. See you in the next one.